What's beef? That's a good question. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Let's go.
Hit that intro.
What up, everybody? This is a different sort of flavor from Commandthispod. If you follow us, you'll know that we like to do some top fives of everything. And with the recent happenings in the hip hop world, we figured why not do a top five rap beefs of all time?
Got it.
The idea was Dev, so kudos to Dev for that idea. We appreciate that, and mixing it up because you know what, it's nice not to argue about which jersey number your quarterback is going to get, and when the schedule is going to drop. So you know what, this is a little bit different, and we doing stuff like this. We got a whole top five playlist on our YouTube channel, so please go check it out. We've done video games, we've done comedians, we've done NFL positions, we've done all kinds of crazy shit. So just add another one to the list. So without any further ado, man, that was Phil on the intro. I am Steve. We got Dev Stradamus here in the background. We're going to give you our top five rap beefs of all time. Like, these are our own personal lists. They might mean something more to each of us than other people. But yeah, let's go. So we're going to go ahead without any further ado and just get this thing started like we always do. So, Dev, let's start with you, man. We're going to start with number five, dude. What is your number five rap beef of all time? You're muted, sir.
You are muted, sir.
My number five would be Jeezy and Gucci. I mean, somebody got shot in that one, so I'm gonna go with Jeezy and Gucci. They had the best, the fifth best beef in my opinion.
The fifth best beef. Okay.
Fifth best beef.
Fifth.
It was all over Icy, the song, you know, collaboration that was supposed to happen in 2005. When I broke into Gucci's house and he killed one of the people that broke in, and here's a bunch of crazy stuff.
I cannot. I mean, Gucci's good, but I can't get into him like some people get into him, man.
I wasn't, oddly enough, man, I got into Gucci as an older adult. Mm-hmm. I didn't really, I grew up mostly on East Coast rap music, you know what I'm saying? And when I did listen to South music, it was like Master P and, 8-Ball MJG. I did listen to them, 3-6 Mafia and stuff. So it was just a little different, but I've always respected his him and Jeezy has made some good music, man. Jeezy is a classic, by the way. I mean, Icy is a classic, by the way.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. Phil, what about you? What is your number five?
My number five is D Block versus State Property. Jadakiss.
Yeah.
Beanie Siegel.
It's Mac, bitch.
Let me tell you. So many freestyles came out of this. It's nuts. So it was it became D Block versus State P.
Spell Siegel.
It really started with Jada and Beanie.
How many other beanies are there?
Hey, there's only one Beans.
I just want to see if you say it. Spell it.
But the crazy thing is, like, if you ever go back and listen, like, at first it was just those two, and then it just became the crews just get on different radio stations and just freestyle for an hour, right? And the crazy things that happen, like Jada showing up at Jada showing up at Powerhouse and doing a freestyle dissing State Property when State Property's in the building. You had State Property went on for like an hour and a half freestyling straight on Hot 97. Like, you had all these moments, like that whole 2000, 2001, 2002 era was hot for that beef. The crazy thing is that the beef could have been squashed a lot earlier. But Jada and Beanie got together and realized, damn, we're making money off this.
Yeah, why never let
He decided just to keep the beef going because people were buying all the mixtapes.
Rightfully so.
It's genius. It's
Yeah,
like, all right, we'll squash the beef in private, but we're going to keep this going for the money. And somehow they kept it on wax.
Yeah. That whole crew of like Jay, Beanie, was it Freeway? Man, it was nice, dude.
Rockefeller in the late 90s, early 2000s, like I get so nostalgic for that time period. Like it's just, I don't know, it just takes back to the days of dial-up internet and CDs, and getting your hands on, you would find these freestyles like off the internet, right? Because they would record them, put the MP3 out there. You find them on some bootleg website. It's poor quality, but you didn't care. You just burned it to a CD, got in your car. Like, that was the early days of file sharing and all that, and that really allowed that to spread.
Who didn't get a virus from BearShare or LimeWire?
Napster days, buddy.
LimeWire, boy.
Yeah. All right. So my number 5 is not going to be popular. I'm probably going to get some shit comments for this, but I'm gonna say the current beef that's going on right now, the Kendrick and Drake beef, particularly. And it's probably not a popular opinion because people are, what do you like to call where people look at what's in the current environment, and that's kind of where they're what have you done for me lately sort of thing. And to me, we don't know what this beef is, but I think it's gonna matriculate into something good. It's good. It's great for hip hop right now, right? I
don't know, man. Somebody got shot on the front porch today, so I don't.
I
probably
know.
need to stop it.
Yeah, or tone it down, or you're right, Dev. I mean,
I will say this, man. If we already have this on our list, can we go ahead and say what we have it as, so we didn't skip that?
I mean, you can if you want to.
I have this as number 1.
Number 1.
I don't want to shock anyone with that, because this is the reason. Because we've never seen two guys in their prime, go at it and keep going at it. We get a song, we get a song here and there, but we ain't got one where guys are going 5 and 5, and they're expecting one from Kendrick to drop either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah,
like that's gonna happen. Then you already have somebody getting shot at somebody's house. Now we don't know if that's related, but how is it not related at all? They could be like just some wild fan or some dumb shit it's not Kendrick's fault or anything like that. I'm not implying that, but I'm saying, like there's a lot of crazy stuff. And on top of this, you got to encompass not only the Drake and Kendrick thing. It started off as Drake, Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole. J. Cole bounced the fuck out of it.
He did. He's like, I'm out.
He's like, Kumote. They Kumote that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to throw in Ross, and you got to throw in Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin dropped a diss track, a beat, to where if you jump on a beat, whoever had the hardest beat, he's going to give a $40,000 beat to.
I saw that.
This is all because of the Kendrick Drake. It's the biggest beef ever. The world knows about it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's why I said it's my take is not popular, but we don't know what it's gonna be.
I'm gonna say as of right now, it's number 1. I mean, I understand that you got that. We're gonna get to the other ones. The classic ones. We're gonna get to them.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, man, it's a lot of. I mean, there's girls asking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many times your wife or girlfriend say, "Hey man, you hear about Tupac and Biggie?" Nobody give a fuck about that shit. They didn't. We did.
Streamers that never talk music,
right?
That are dissecting this beef bar for bar.
Man, right? It made it. If you watch the roast of Tom Brady, it's on there.
So maybe one person in our audience knows what I'm talking about. I watch this dude, Chud Logic. Right? He's a 37-year-old British dude, and he was breaking it down. And he doesn't even listen to rap music, none of that, and he was interested.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. This is number 1. And the what's the name too? Go ahead, Steve. I forgot.
I was gonna say if we had some of these beefs that we're gonna talk about in today's modern, society of social media, I guarantee that it would be, we were on the brink of that with some of these other ones here in the early 2000s, but it didn't look like it is today, man. Exposure's at an all-time high, download streams. If some of those older beefs that I know we're gonna put on this list were available today, I don't know, man. They might get more run than what we're seeing with Kendrick and Drake. But I think what you're saying, Dev, is there's this like a spider web this off of this one beef, like you're saying. It could go in multiple directions, which is kind of cool. And like I said, we all win, man. We're all winners. If you like hip hop, we're all winners of this. So, Phil, I don't know where you want to, since you already have this.
Somebody dies.
So I do, and I have it at number 3.
Number 3. All right, we'll just get that out the way. And let's hope that nobody else gets shot over this.
Yeah, I hope it's not related.
Keep it on wax, people. Let's keep it on wax.
Yeah, because if you guys don't know, a security guard got shot at Drake's house in a mansion in Toronto today. At the embassy. So let's keep it on wax.
Now, if Drake gets hiding pedos, they can all go to jail.
Which is tremendous is that the Jada and Beanie beef didn't spiral into like
it did actually. There was violence, but that's why the two of them got together and basically told their respective crews. Because here's the thing: I'm
saying it didn't spiral onto like big. It didn't make DMX and Jay-Z or Rough Riders and Rockefeller. DMX, it didn't make them go.
You gotta understand, DMX and Jay-Z already had a little friction, but DMX is always like,
I'm better than him.
Man, that's his beef. That ain't my beef. That's your man's. That's your man's beef.
Give a dog a bone, he'll find his way home. You will let me die or give me death. Let my soul rest. Take my breath. I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna live on, but I'll be gone. Hey, we're gonna get another copyright.
It's dark and hell is hot.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker.
It's dark and hell is hot, man.
I did it better than him. Talk is cheap, motherfucker. I did it better than DMX.
Shout out to another YouTuber, Carcino. He does the History of Hip Hop Beef series, and he's got like 500 videos because he's one of those dudes who did a lot of ghostwriting. So he knows a lot of people in the industry. He knows a lot of these inside stories. And it's some of them, like, he'll tell you about the different frictions that happen between guys. So it never became, like, outright, but there were still subliminals out there. Like, you know, the fact that Jay-Z's whole Watcher 2 verse is actually directed at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was Cameron.
Uncle Ja.
He was actually taking a shot at Ja Rule, with all that. But anyway,
all right.
There's a lot of history. Like, people think beef just happens, right? And a lot of people think that the beef is isolated to just those who are involved. No, you gotta understand, especially back in the early 2000s, like state property was not just, Beans and Petey Crack and Owen Sparks and all those dudes. No.
Yeah.
It had street dudes doing stuff in the streets. Same with D Block, right? There's street crews affiliated with this. Violence happened. Yeah. And that's why it was always violence between people who you never heard of. But they were both part of these extended crews. A lot of people, especially these young kids, like, they don't realize that, or people who are just not deep into listening to hip hop, they don't realize that. No, it especially back then, it was way beyond just the rappers involved. So that's where these things got real dangerous sometimes.
It got real.
So right. Dev, who's number 4?
Numero 4.
Damn it. I got 50 and Ja Rule.
50. That was a fun one. That was a fun one.
Basically ruined that guy's career, bro.
Yes, he's.
If any of y'all young guys, for any of you young whippersnappers out there, Ja Rule was basically Drake.
He was
of his generation.
That motherfucker was on everything.
From in that era, for just a little while, man, he was all the women wanted him. All the dudes wanted to be him because he got all the women. You know what I'm saying? He was on every MTV party. Every MTV party, Ja Rule was in it. Every hip hop thing award, Ja Rule was there.
He was with J-Lo.
Yeah.
He was with Ashanti.
Yeah.
But
they was always in songs.
In songs together. He was in Fast and Furious.
He was an R&B and rap. He kind of blended the two.
He did.
Now, I will say this: 50 would have washed him anyway because 50 was just that dude.
Yeah.
But you got to remember that Ja Rule, right when he was going to respond, is when the IRS hit Murder Inc. for tax evasion and money laundering and racketeering and all this stuff.
Got 'em.
They couldn't put shit out.
I think they beat those charges too, by the way.
They did, but because of that, they had a freeze on everything. They couldn't release any music.
But get this though, man.
And so 50 Cent's coming out with Piggy Bank, and he's got
Wangsta.
He's got Back Down.
Yeah.
Back Down was the diss track.
Yep.
But so Ja Rule just was like wanting to go back, and the thing is, and that was another one that a lot of street dudes were involved. 50 got stabbed.
Then he did the whole thing where I gotta wear the vest everywhere I go.
It was so bad. Like years later, he did a song with Fat Joe, and he was like, "Look, man, no one can do a song with this motherfucker." And it pissed 50 Cent off so much, he did a diss to Fat Joe, and it started a Fat Joe and 50 Cent beat. Like it started a Jada Kiss and a lot of people.
Fat Joe came out with a pretty vicious diss track, actually.
Cameron too, but none of them could beat the Sting. That is,
50 had too much clout at that point.
That's right. All right, Phil, what you got for your number 4?
Number 4, we're going to go a little old school. This is a beef that went on for 5 years. Of course, back then you didn't release tracks at the same speed. LL Cool J and Kool Moe Dee.
Ooh. LL Cool J versus Kool Moe Dee. I was abbreviated like that.
Yeah, so that one went back and forth, right? And then there was little shots of different ones. So like this all stemmed from
I'm Bad is about Jack the Ripper, and I'm Bad is about
no. I'm Bad wasn't part of this, but
Jack the Ripper
around that time, LL like held up an entire show because he always shows up late, and it was something that KRS-One was putting on, and KRS-One knew LL, and he's just like, whatever. Kool Moe Dee took that as an insult to all the older rappers at the time. So he comes out with How You Like Me Now, and then you got LL comes out with Jack the Ripper, and then Kool Moe Dee comes out with Let's Go. Then you had LL dropped Subliminals and Jingling Baby, and then he drops again with To the Break of Dawn. And then Kool Moe Dee fires the final shot with Death Blow, but it was such a bad diss track. Everyone's like, nah, L1. A lot of people don't realize that LL was a battler first and foremost.
He was.
He became the ladies' man, but he was a battler first and foremost. People forget he used to have freestyle battles with Jay-Z back in the early 90s and won a lot. These two would just find each other backstage, freestyle. They have a cipher, and LL would beat him, and people were like, "How is this happening?"
Yeah,
people wouldn't believe that now, but it happened. It's documented.
Yep. All right, my number 4 is, excuse me, kind of a classic one as well. Going back to it originated when I was a sophomore in high school, around 1996-ish. It's Nas and Jay-Z. Now it wasn't like super hyped or whatever, but it was a good beat for me because they went back and forth. Nas was supposed to be on Jay-Z's debut album. Dev just dropped out. Nas did not show up for the recording session, and then from that point forward, it was just like shot versus shot versus shot versus shot. Let's get Dev back in here. And so then we had the beef of Jay-Z and Nas, and then when the Blueprint came out, Jay ripped into Nas a little bit on that song Takeover, and then Nas came back with Ether, which was a fantastic comeback. And then so we had a beef that didn't have any. There was nobody killed. There was nobody hurt. But
that's my 3. Awesome.
Yeah, and with this one, Jay-Z kind of put a little fuel on the fire after Biggie died by basically claiming, I'm the king of East Coast hip hop sort of thing. And Nas kind of took offense to that. And I know where Dev stands about, Nas's ranking in the hip hop legends rankings because of naming multiple tracks or great crazy good albums, and I kind of agree with them to an extent. So, but this is my number 3, Nas versus Jay-Z. So yours is also your 3 as well, Dev?
It's my 3. I also one thing that gets one thing people don't think about when they think of this is that Jay-Z, you almost felt like Nas was on his way out. Like there was not a lot of people talking about Nas, as a current rapper at that time.
Right.
And, you felt like Jay-Z was just hitting low-hanging fruit at the time. Like, he was like, he hitting the dude while he's down. And it kind of re-energized Nas's career. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, now I'm very hard critic on hip-hop because Nas is one of the all-time greats. And when you're judging an all-time great, you have to compare him with the accolades of other all-time greats. You just can't compare him to guys that aren't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in my opinion, I think Stillmatic, in my opinion, it may be his second best album. Like at that point, you know what I'm saying? As far as from top to bottom, you wanted to listen to. Did he have more hits on other songs? Did he have a couple more hits on other albums? Of course, he had lots of records. You know what I'm saying? But as far as an album, Stillmatic made people remember, like, dude, this dude is not only had Illmatic, one of the greatest rap albums, if not the greatest rap album of all time. It's definitely in everyone's top 5. Yeah. But he also is still a great rapper. In my opinion, though, Jay won. And I can completely understand why anybody would say Nas won, because Ether is one of the best rap diss songs of all time. But to me, it was just jokes. It was just it was playground shit like your mama's so fat, you know what I'm saying, that she wore a Malcolm X t-shirt, helicopters land on her back. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of those kind of, it was like a roast, basically. Yeah. But the Jay-Z Takeover album, man, it was hard. It was, I fucked your baby's mama, busting us in the back seat, and that was super ugly. That was super ugly. But yeah, just he kept hitting them with that kind of shit.
People responded so poor, like people did not like Super Ugly.
They didn't,
and that's why people say that Nas won.
I think the Blueprint 2 song where he talked about, your little homie Nas just a jungle to me. And in your bodyguard suit, you watching Wilder versus better than yours. I think that myself was my favorite diss song out of Jay. But Takeover, especially when you listen to the Unplugged Takeover Live, where he's having a crowd saying "lame," talking about Nas' career, dog. That's crazy, dog. It was a good battle. I'm glad that it stayed on wax and they made up and hopefully we'll get more Black Republican records from those two, man.
And then they ended up performing on. It kind of died off. Then they performed on stage sometime. I don't know, somewhere 04, 05, 06.
I like that. That's my favorite battle.
Their war. That was actually when Jay-Z was announcing his comeback too. I remember that.
Black Album.
Crazy thing is that the subliminals between those two, like, when it's funny because the first shot that people really recognized was when Memphis Bleak put out a track, and he talks about, you want ball till you fall, I can help you with that, and then Nas fired back on Nostradamus saying, I can let a slug melt in your hat. You want ball till you fall, I can help you with that, right? So that was actually a shot at Memphis Bleak saying, don't send your minions at me, Jay. And he also had that song "Come Get Me," and then on Lifetime Volume 3, Jay's initial part of "Come and Get Me," similar name, was warning shots at Nas, and that's how it was. It was like if you were really paying attention, you could, basically trace the red thread, like the conspiracy theory back through all these other songs.
That motherfucker said when the grass is cut, the snakes will show. I got to thank my little homie Nas for that, though, for saving me the house. We're talking to half of these assholes, and I'm going to let Carmen catch up to Jazzo. Whoa. Talking about his baby's mama, Carmen. I'm back before you got a chance to diss me. Mama can't save you this time. Niggas, it's history. Who got that nigga's hard, dog. Like, that's silly. I'm the victor because the victor is me. Y'all street dreaming. All you niggas living through me. I gave you life when niggas was forgetting you MC'd. I'm a legend. You should take a picture of me. Should be happy to be in my presence. I'm going to charge you a fee. A big dog, Glenn Robb. Listen, God, you a flea. And your little homie Jungle's just a garden to me. That dude's silly, man. Yeah. Like, and he meant it. You had one. That's a one hot album every 10-year average. He was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you can tell
up to that point.
You can up to that point, and you can tell like when niggas. Of course, it's funny when you say a motherfucker ain't got no lip hair, no mustache. He looks like a camel. That's hilarious, bro. But and it's funny as shit. If you were on a school property, you would laugh at that shit. You ever watch Good Boy Steve? Have you seen that movie yet?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where he's like, sippy cup. He's like, that's not even a burn. He said, your dad has to take your dad got busted for DUI and got his license taken away. He has to take a cab to work. That's a burn. That's basically the Nas and Jay-Z beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really a burn because you say I look like a camel. What's a burn is I fucked your baby's mom, and she also fucked Jazzo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a you ain't have a one album in 10 years. Your bodyguard
really,
your versus better than yours.
The loser of that beef was Common Bryant.
There was no loser, man. They both. I think it helped Nas.
Loser in that beef.
I think it helped Nas as well as it helped Jay.
Yeah,
I think it helped both of them. Jay hasn't been hurt by this beef. I think it did nothing but help Nas. Just like I think this Kendrick and Drake beef. I think they both. None of them have bad diss tracks, man.
Yeah,
none of them did a bad job. I don't think any of them are bad, man.
That family matters with the Heart Part 6 is.
Oh man,
you can't play defense on a diss track.
What you got to do? What are you gonna do if somebody calls you a pedophile, bro? You not. Like, what are you supposed to say to that, man? What do you go at? What do you do after that?
Millie Bobby Brown and no one said her name.
But what do you do after that? Because they always bring up the picture of him hanging out with Millie Bobby Brown, which is a grown woman, by the way.
Kendrick never said her name.
But that's what they do.
Here's the thing: Drake made the mistake of battling the internet. He made a mistake of not just battling Kendrick. He went and battled the internet. And
when you're number one,
he made a mistake. He lost focus.
When you're number one, it's like a Afro Samurai. Everybody gonna come looking for that headband, bro.
Everybody wants you.
Everybody coming, man. You know, like I said, it's 1-on-5. He's like basically this nigga's what's his face from the Avengers, Thanos. They got to use the whole Avengers to get this nigga, dog. But I get it, man. I would rather listen to a Kendrick album than a Drake album, dog. But Drake's tough, dog. Drake ain't no slouch.
Wouldn't Drake assembling the Avengers wouldn't it be him assembling the Avengers with all of his ghostwriters?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe this is Avengers versus X-Men, maybe.
By the way, Euphoria is still my favorite track album.
Euphoria is hard.
and that's a friendly fade.
But the best diss track on Drake is still the story of Adidon. Pusha T still crushed him, dog. Like that's why it's not gonna ever impress me, dog. Because everything Kendrick said, Pusha T done said to this nigga, dog. It's not. Yeah. It's nothing new here. You're not telling me anything new. The nigga's beige. He's khaki. We know.
You're saying the same shit that these dudes said.
Yeah. It's the same thing. He don't take care of his kids.
No.
His dad's a crackhead. His mama works married.
Kendrick brought different angles to it, though.
It's the same story.
That's every battle.
Yeah, but it's the same.
But here's the thing, Kendrick. See, people forget Kendrick used to be the guy who used to be in those pit battles and all that. Like he comes from battle rap, like modern battle rap. See, Drake does too, because Drake sponsors Key and the Dot.
I don't think none of them. I like Kendrick's winning. By the way, I want to clarify. I want to make sure everybody knows it. But I don't know if it's way up.
It's way up.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I don't know if I believe everything that everybody says about each other both ways. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care, dog. I don't care how this nigga treats his wife or his kids, dog. I could give a fuck less. You know, as long just keep rapping, nigga. I know what I'm saying. But you know, that's all I care about.
Exposing that Drake's filing cease and desists on songs and all this other stuff.
But we all know. I don't know if y'all know music a lot, but we all know like he might not have did that. Record labels do it all the time.
No one's denied it.
Record labels do it all the time to protect the artists. He might not have nothing to do with that, man. You never know. You never know.
I see clips from clubs and the crowds are chanting, "Oh, V-Ho," you know.
Yeah, because everybody hates Duke, man. Everybody hates the Dallas Cowboys, bro. Everybody hates the winner, bro. If you popular and winning, everybody hates you. Justin Bieber, remember he was the number one motherfucker. Everybody booed him. Kim Kardashian at the roast the other day got booed, man, because she's the most popular thing in the world. They're gonna boo her every time, bro. It's always popular to hate the popular motherfucker, dog. Everybody likes you at first, then you become so popular that people don't like you.
Is that why people say Nas beat Jay-Z?
That's part of it. That's for sure part of it. At that point in time, Jay-Z was the biggest rap name in the world, man. It's easy to say he lost. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron gets it more than anyone, man. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's good, but he's bald. Who gives a fuck if that nigga's bald, bro? That's weird. That's a weird argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that motherfucker got a receding hairline, he can be the greatest basketball player ever. You know, they got a crunch on him.
That's the only basketball player with lace fronts.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna always. It's low hanging fruit, man. It's low hanging fruit.
It is. I just had to get that shot off because
I get him in all the time. Like a Durant, there's no way you can be that rich and can't get a brush, nigga. That's
seriously
crazy.
Little implants, a little for him.
Man, cut it off, man. Cut it off or brush it.
Bald is beautiful, man.
I don't even think he's bald. I think that's just BBs, nigga. I think that's just
going.
Some TCB and some Blue Magic take care of all that, bro.
With his high level income and his modern technology, man. I don't know why he could live till he's about 120.
That's what it is.
All right. Let's go. All right, number 3. My number 3 is a classic beef that takes me back to my teenage years, and it's Dr. Dre versus Eazy-E. Now this one didn't result in a whole lot of a ton of tracks, whatever, but to me this was great. So if you remember when NWA broke up, early 90s, the manager at the time, his name was Jerry Heller, he just he decided, you know what, fuck everybody else, I'm gonna ride the coattails of Eazy-E, and it left everyone out to dry. It left Dre, Cube, I think the DOC went with Dre, but after that it was game on. And when Dre came out, if you remember, with the Chronic, like he had Dre Day, it was all about Easy. If you remember in the video, used to be my homie, used to be my ace. Yeah, like that whole album was just kind of like a whole dedication to Easy. And then Easy didn't really fire back that much. He did. No, he did. But I'm saying Dre got all the popularity because that Chronic album,
and he owned part of the Chronic.
So good, it was so good. And then also, if you remember, Easy started doing the management of Bone Thugs and Harmony out of Cleveland, and then he eventually had AIDS in 1995, and then they kind of made it up.
He died before that Bone album came out too, by the way.
Yeah, he did. He's 1999, I think. I think he came out. He was alive for was it Eternal? Eternal was the first one with Douglas Rogers Bone and everything. But
no, he died after it hit press. Like right before it hit press, he died. He got to hear it.
Who would have known what that would have become? But yeah, man, Dre versus Easy. It was a beef that I enjoyed. That was like my. I was a young teenager in the early 90s, just becoming a teenager, 93, and this is what I was introduced. I had the Chronic tape, and then eventually I had the Chronic CD, but snuck it. Went to Waxy Maxi and bought it on what was it released? Was it new music? Was it a Tuesday?
A whole EP that was almost nothing but disses to Dre.
Yeah.
Now, granted, also give me that nut on it, which is still
give me that.
Yeah, he had 6 songs on every album. Like
he had to have one.
Yeah, now he had like 4 or 5 on Niggas for Life.
But but not on its own.
And Dre was beefing with Luke, if I remember, at the same time too. At the same time, he was kind of beefing
Luke's
with
bending over, so Luke's getting.
So he was kind of just trying to hit everyone. But I enjoyed this beef as a young teenager, 1993. I was 13, so my level of hip hop knowledge wasn't that deep, but this was fun for me. So,
my nuts on your tonsils while you're on stage rapping at your whack ass concerts.
That's right. Dad, what's your number 2?
Well, probably is my number 2 is gonna be everybody's number 1. I got Pac and Biggie.
Okay.
Rest in peace to both.
Yeah, man.
Both kind of went in their prime. I think Pac might have been turning it, kind of going into more of a Will Smith acting role. But 2 of the greatest top 5 rappers ever lived, man, talent wise. Addition to the culture wise as well, man. But it all basically started. Pac and Biggie used to be friends at Quad Studios, I think it was in New York. They, Pac got jumped and shot, and thought Biggie may have been responsible, or at least knew something about the incident was going to go down.
That's because Biggie was upstairs.
Yeah, Biggie was upstairs. He had just left. and ever since then he was on, he thought he did it.
Yeah.
So
Pac's paranoia got him.
they just found out who killed Pac.
Because the dude admitted it, man. He came clean, didn't he?
On DJ Vlad, who everybody wants kicked out of the culture. By the way, he found
is that dude going to jail? They put that
he's
in
jail. I think they got him. The actual guy that pulled the trigger. They say
that's crazy. So
it's very crazy.
Conspiracies about Pac can die, or is that not allowed to happen yet? He's still living in Jamaica.
I don't know.
Is he still dropping an album every year? Remember, he dropped like 6 or 7 albums every year after he passed away.
Man.
It's like the Black Elvis.
Yeah, this was a good beef, man. Like from a hip hop perspective, it produced.
It really wasn't when you think about it, because Biggie never responded.
No, but what it did, it totally made East versus West hip hop mainstream. Everyone knew about it, dude. Everyone knew about East Coast.
Biggest artists representing their different coasts.
Yeah,
realistically, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Spoiler alert: I don't have Pac and Biggie on this.
What?
Really?
Because
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess your next two. Then
by themselves, you didn't get much out of that, right? It was
I agree with that.
West Coast, but it was different artists. Like, all right, Snoop and them come and knock down the towers, right? That's not Pac. And then you got with New York, and then you got LA out of Mobb Deep and all them.
Yeah. Mobb Deep's the only one that ever came back on Pac, man. He's the only one.
Mobb Deep would drop a gem on him.
That's the only one. He's the only one said it. I think maybe Common said something.
Capone Noriega too.
Yeah, but that was on the Mobb Deep record.
I mean, Biggie came back indirectly.
LA was not.
Nah, man, Biggie never came back. Who shot you was done before.
Going back to Cali, that was an indirect shot at all the West Coast.
Nah, all it was done before that whole album.
That was
done.
Life After Death. No, that was his last album before he died. Life After Death.
Going back to Cali wasn't a diss song, man.
No, it wasn't a diss song at Pac. He never directed at Pac. It was about the West Coast, about the East Coast taking over the West Coast, is what I'm saying. Like I said, that beef it mainstreamed the whole thing. I don't know, man.
You gotta understand, LA was Capone Noriega with Mobb Deep, Tragedy Gaddafi, right? And then NY was Dog Pound.
Yeah.
None of that was any of these dudes.
I'm saying they basically hit him up, and that was it.
Hit him up.
Yeah,
I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Which is the greatest diss song of all time.
It is the greatest diss song of all time.
Yeah,
you cannot argue that.
The greatest first line to a diss song on top
fuck
of it.
Your
That's
bitch
why
in this
fuck your bitch.
You
fat motherfucker.
Get
money.
West Side, when we ride, can we quick with game?
Yeah,
no better.
Dog was out with fuck Compton. I mean, it was a whole bunch of people. You had Pac was wanting to go at LL. LL dropped "I Shot You," which was a veiled threat at Pac.
Well, since we're at it, Dev, I'm just gonna say that was my number one beef. So
I can't put Pac and Biggie because as a beef, it was part of a much bigger regional beef. It was not like really much between the two of them, so I couldn't put it on here. And I really debated it. But I was like, I just can't. You got to hit him up. That was it. That was the only song you got out of it. And what? Brooklyn's Finest?
Yeah, Biggie didn't really respond, man. He just kept doing his thing. Pac kept responding.
Get it?
California Love. He did. I mean, it was. I don't know. It was a great time in hip hop.
It was a great time, but I just can't, in good faith, that beef between those two should be on the list because of the music that it provided. But that's just
what song he did. I'm a bad boy killer. Jay-Z died too. What was that song Tupac did? I think it's called Bad Boy Killer.
Anyway,
all right, Phil. What is your number 2, man?
50 versus John Fat Joe.
Well, 50 and Fat Joe over Biggie, Pac, and Kendrick and Drake.
Hold on, because Kendrick and Drake isn't over yet. It's incomplete. Because it's incomplete, I can't rank it higher.
Bomb first. That's the song.
You gotta think the 50 versus John Fat Joe's dates all the way back to 50 dropping Ghetto Quran. Think about that. Right? That's 99. Fat Joe was dropping oh, what the name? What was the name of that song he did?
Damn, I'm killing myself over here. Hold on.
50 dropped. God damn it, I can't remember. But that was like 05. Fat Joe dropped a diss track on 50 and it was still hot.
I still think Cameron's was better diss than 50 than Joe's. Curtis, that's a really good one.
What was it? My Fofo, that's what it was.
Fat Joe, very underrated rapper. We're the top 5 underrated rappers. He's gonna make my list for
big
sure.
time. And he's still going, man.
Super underrated.
I hit every 5 years. I hit every 5 years. I hit.
But though that whole thing, because one beef transitioned to the other, but John and Fat Joe kind of rode together on that one too with the New York song, or the New York song with Jada.
Yeah.
Notice 50 didn't go after Jada Kiss.
Yeah, he did, man.
Not really. He took a shot or two, but he did not.
No, they had a whole diss thing. Him and Jada and 50, they went at it. They had a whole diss track.
It was all subliminals, though. There was no calling each other out by
they
name.
They got on the radio. Knox got on the radio saying, "Oh, we gonna be famous now. We got this by 50 Cent." They get a whole thing on them niggas, man.
Yeah, but that was like one mixtape track. It was seriously. Jada didn't get it the way Joe and Ja got it from 50, right?
Oh yeah, no one got it like Checkmate. That's
no one got it like Ja.
The 50 Cent song was called Checkmate.
Yeah, but you gotta think that 50 got stabbed by Tom Murder because of this beef. Like in the middle of because the whole thing where Ja finds out Ja's down there talking about, man, fuck this 50 Cent dude, and man, if I ever see him, and someone's like, he's upstairs right now.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Go do something.
Quavo and Chris Brown.
He goes up there with all of Murder Inc., right? And they go into the studio and they catch G Unit off guard, and they shut the lights off real quick because they saw Tony Yayo was in there. I think Yayo was in there. Maybe is either Yayo or Banks. Someone reached for their guns. They shot the lights off real quick, and a fight broke out in the dark. And in the middle of it, Tom Murder breaks out a knife and hits 50 right in the side. So I mean that the stories behind that, and the idea of Ja found out that 50 was in a hotel and they tried to break down the door and all this other stuff. Like it's there's a lot of street shit that went on with that beef. It's just, and then you had mixtape track after mixtape track after album track after album track. Like it was constant for like 5 years between these guys. So yeah. That's a beef to me. That was direct. There was a lot of music involved. So, and there was, so I got to put that one up there. There's a whole big story behind that.
All right.
Anyway, Steve.
I think Quavo and Chris Brown's a better beef than 50 and Fat Joe.
I threw Fat Joe because Fat Joe and 50. It was part of the 50 and Ja beef.
It was.
So. All right, my number 2. This is also going to be a unpopular opinion, but for me, man, it was very short lived as well. But this is the LL versus Cannabis beef. Yeah. I think it just produced some good content, some good songs.
The Mike Tyson intro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You gotta eat their ass. You gotta eat their ass, Cannabis. Cannabis should be like the worst rapper for Tyson to even like. He can't even say it. Cannabis.
When LL came back, was it
Ripper
Strikes Back? It just showed you the roots, just like Phil said earlier, of his origins of being a battle rapper, and there was no coming back from the Ripper Strikes Back.
Nah, but so
to me,
so what's funny is that beef led to back and forth on wax between LL and Wyclef. Wyclef was pushing Cannabis at the time, and so in Ripper Strikes Back, LL mentions Wyclef.
Don't even turn your fucking mic on. That's what he says to Wyclef.
Yeah. And then so Clef did a song called "What's Clef Got to Do with It?" Because he's like, and then so LL drops a song called "Rasta and Pasta" about Wyclef, and then he he kind of like put the nail in the coffin as far as what people really paid attention to.
Right.
With the second verse of Back Where I Belong. But then Campus dedicated basically a whole album dissing LL, and no one bought it.
Nobody did.
He also took Cannabis off a verse. He had him on a song with him, and he
didn't
took
take
him
him
off. He changed his verse after Cannabis dropped his.
He's like, Cannabis wanted to battle on record, and LL was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." But
they had a song together.
What happened was that Cannabis changed his verse. L doesn't, because L's like, well, if you change your verse, no one knows who I'm talking to.
Right.
But then
it was 4, 3, 2, 1, right?
Yeah. But then the original 4, 3, 2, 1 leaked with Cannabis's original track on it, or original verse. It leaked on the internet. And what happened? This is another one of those things of pre-cell phone days.
Borrow the mic from your arm.
LL goes away after he tells Cannabis, "Hey, we're gonna do something together. We'll squash this." Right? Cannabis is like, "All right," and then LL goes away on he goes goes off to like Turks and Caicos, wherever the hell famous people go. And because Cannabis now can't get a hold of LL, he gets pissed and then he goes and drops a second round knockout.
Right.
It's a whole weird thing. Now it's funny because like in 2018, they squashed the beef, like on stage. Like all those years later, go figure.
Well, I'm gonna let the world know the truth. You don't want me to shine. That's a good song, man.
Oh, I look, I'm the biggest LL fan, but I'm not gonna lie to sit there and say that that's not a fantastic track.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's great workout music too, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, I guess I'm the only one with the number one.
Phil, Dev already used Kendrick and Drake at his top. I got Pac and Biggie at the top. So Phil, it's on you.
Nas and Jay-Z.
Nas and Jay-Z. Okay.
Oh my God, just the history behind that one is so rich. It all stems from Biggie dying.
It
Biggie
does.
gets shot and dies. King of New York throne is open, and people thought it was going to be Nas at first because Nas had dropped It Was Written. That went like triple platinum, and people were like, oh, okay, Nas is going to take that crown. Nas is about to drop I Am, the autobiography. That gets leaked, so he has to go in and like re-record half the album. That's what you got with I Am.
Yep.
If you take like the best tracks from Nostradamus and the best tracks from I Am, put them together, that's what that album was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that would have been a classic. But didn't happen. Nas drops, the worst verse on the whole fucking song on Uchiwali, and
Queensbridge.
Man, Nas, another song he did on that Stillmatic album that one The Bridge Is Over. The Bridge Is Over. His rendition of that was honestly one of the hardest diss songs. Also, people don't talk about, man, because he got Nature, he got at Prodigy, he got at Jay.
Yeah, a lot of people address. Yeah, I think a lot of people, Cormega, all.
Yeah. I listened to that today. Actually, I got a whole
year out dissing Nas.
I got a whole folder of diss. Didn't you guys have Tidal, by the way?
No,
that's the best. It's the best music platform. It's cheapest and it's the best, man. And the artists get paid more when you listen to their music on there. So, Tidal, I know you don't sponsor this podcast, and you should, because I'm a Tidal
no free
artist.
Plugs.
But Tidal is the shit for artists, by the way, especially independent artists. Tidal is the way to go. Not Tidal. Spotify, Tidal. Listen to Tidal. Spotify robbed you. For sure.
Dev would know. He's got his music on all of it.
Well, just recapping our list for the audio crowd. Dev went at number 5, Gucci versus Jeezy. Number 4, 50 versus Ja. Number 3, Nas versus Jay-Z. Number 2, Pac versus Biggie. And number 1, Kendrick versus Drake.
I almost went at 5. I almost went
Cardi B.
Yeah, no, not Cardi B. Nicki Minaj versus
old
girl, man.
The really light Nick Young's old girl.
No, not her. No, Papoose wife.
Oh, Remy.
Remy smoked
Oh.
her. Smoked her.
Oh yeah.
Smoked her. It was like the Drake and Pusha T.
On she dropped that track Sheether.
Yeah, smoked her.
Oh
And it
my
was over.
God.
And she sued her.
You ever heard
sued her
that?
for the beat. She
No.
sued her for the beat. She put a she put a
Oh
cease and
my
desist on
God.
the beat, so she could never release it. It smoked her.
It's proof that Remy Ma should have been a much bigger deal than she ever got to be.
Smoked her.
But if you listen to Sheether, it's brutal.
I'll have to find it.
Oh, she just rips Nicki.
Phil's list: number 5, Jada versus Beanie; number 4, LL versus Kumo D; number 3, Kendrick versus Drake; number 2, 50 versus Ja and Fat Joe; number 1, Nas versus Jay-Z. My list: number 5, Kendrick versus Drake; number 4, Nas versus Jay; number 3, Dre versus Easy; number 2, LL versus Cannabis; number 1, Pac versus Biggie. And that is our top 5 rap beasts of all time from your boys from Command This.
We about had almost the same ones.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close. Is there anyone that you can think of that would have been honorable mention here that we can? I know you brought up a ton throughout this conversation.
Man, No Limit versus Young Money was a decent one.
Yeah,
Wasn't really publicized.
I kind of wish Mobb Deep and Pac went at it a little more, but they didn't.
Jay Prodigy. There's actually a whole lot of them we haven't discussed, man. KRS-One versus MC Shan.
Yeah,
Cannabis versus Ice Cube was a good one. House of Pain versus not Cypress Hill. House of Pain versus NWA, was it?
No, it's
Ice Cube or one of them. When did they go?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube was Ice Cube and Common had one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mentioned that one. The No Vaseline.
That was
no. The Bitchin' You, wasn't it? The Bitchin' You.
That was Bitchin' You.
Yeah. I got a whole playlist on
title for beefs. The one honorable mention. This is one that no one brings up, but it's probably the one time one other time besides Common. The one other time Cube really kind of took it on the chin in a battle was West Side Connection and Cypress Hill. Because Cypress Hill dropped No Rest for the Wicked. And if you look at that bar for bar, it is one of the tightest diss tracks ever. It's like there's no wasted energy.
Yeah.
It's 3 verses, man. Every shot is direct. And then like everyone talks about King of the Hill. And I'm like, if you listen to King of the Hill, they ain't saying shit. It's just a lot of like blah 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 hoo-ah. But then they did Ice Cube Killer, which they did the whole Jacket for Beats concept. They took a bunch of Cube's beats and dissed him over it. So like, yeah, Cypress Hill got one up on West Side Connect, but that's also funny because if you listen, none of the West Side Connect songs going towards Cypress Hill had WC on it. Dub C was friends with those guys. He's like, nah, I'm out. Y'all can battle them. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's just crazy how that happened. But that one actually got dangerous because in LA, because of that beef, all the Vatos and the Crips started having beef over that battle.
What about nobody mentioned fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, yeah, 50 Cents in the Game.
That's a good one. That was a good one too.
That was a good one, man.
The Game's first whole debut album was all that was a great album, by the way.
That was that's the one I wish never happened, man. Like I wish the Game and 50 Cent never fell out. I feel like that was like Snoop and Dre. Not like the sound, but the connection, dog. It felt like they were in step with each other. Every song they had together was a hit, man. I felt like that shit was gonna keep going.
Game just thought that he should have been running G.
Game's a better rapper. As far as words, 50 makes better music, man. It's just he has made timeless songs. In the Club is a timeless hit. You're gonna be 90 years old and they're gonna play that. You're gonna like it, dog.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be playing it for the rest of their lives, man.
Hey, another 50 slept on 50 is 50 and JT AO Technology. That's a good song, man.
Man, hey, 50 has some fucking hit. Get Rich or Die Trying is a classic rap album, man. It could be in anybody's top 5. Get Rich or Die Trying is fucking great.
I mean, that's the thing is that and that's the crazy thing is that if Game had kind of just known his place
His
he
place was
not. He
number
was
one.
a 1G unit, and it's like, nah, dude, this is not your crew.
I respect Game because Game is never meant to be a secondary guy. He's always meant to run on his own, and so is 50. They're both alpha males, right? So it was bound to happen. Like, on one hand, you respect the nigga from saying, "Man, that's your problem. I ain't got a problem with these guys over here. I ain't into that with y'all." I respect him for that. The other guys didn't want to do that because you don't want to lose what 50's doing for you. Game stood on business, man. I always respected him for that. But on the other hand, bro, I don't know if y'all ever played sports or been in, all of y'all have. You know, one heartbeat means, man, like sometimes you gotta say, I got my niggas back, and then when you close the door and go in the house, you tell him how wrong he is, dog. You don't tell a nigga how wrong he is in front of everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like that was the protocol that Game should have did, but I respect the fuck out of him for saying no.
Yeah,
I'm a fuck with who I want to fuck with. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? So I've always had a crazy respect for Game, man. On top of it, he's a dope. I think talent for talent on the bars, he was the dopest. He might be the dopest in the West Coast. I respect the Kendrick, man. I think I've always thought it. He don't make him songs, but I think he's for rap, man. Game's hard to fuck with. He was the best one of those guys, man. But 50, man, you can't dispel that nigga had.
So
leadership.
another honorable mention. You want to talk about West Coast beefs? This one gets kind of slept on because 50 and Game was so.
I'm guessing.
What?
MC8, DJ Quick.
That one too, but I was going with another Game beef. Game and Yuck Mouth.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. That was kind of
because Yuck Mouth. People slept on Yuck Mouth, and then he was like tearing Game apart. You just like, damn. Where'd that come from?
Pusha T and Wayne was a good one. I mean, Pusha T ate his ass up too. Nobody talks about that either, by the way. Nobody talks about
Pusha T just bodies people, man.
Well, you know, they said, well, he never said nothing back. Wayne had Ghoulish. Ghoulish was about the Clips and Pusha T, man, and with Pharrell.
Yeah.
He left him alone after he dropped crutches across his caskets. He left him alone. You know what I'm saying? I get it. That's what Drake should have did, man. Well, I guess he did. He just left him alone.
Yeah. No, Drake left him alone after goddamn story.
Well, he mentioned his he mentioned his name in that song with Kanye West, man. It was over. He said, "Hey, you mentioned my chick and me in a song, man. It's over."
That's right.
It's over, man.
All right, I think we're gonna close this one down. We went a little bit long, but hey, when you're talking about a fun topic, man, that's what happens, and that's what we do here on Command This. A little bit different content for you guys. This will be under our top 5 playlist, as
Drake
usual. I can't think of any other ones. You could
Eminem,
say Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem, Fred Durst and Eminem. I don't know.
Eminem just.
By the way, Machine Gun Kelly had the best diss against Eminem.
Then that motherfucker turned into a pop star afterwards.
He lost. He lost to Eminem.
He put up the best fight.
He put up the best fight. I gotta
give him that. He changed genres.
Cameron did too. And Cameron was goofy though. But anyways, man, yeah, for sure though, man. You gotta give.
I'll give him that.
Machine Gun Kelly did better against Eminem than
but people like Charlemagne coming out saying, "Well, it was the better song." I'm like, nah, this is beef.
Yeah.
What's beef?
This is beef.
That's right.
Conclude what you say. You gotta say something.
For those still here, we appreciate you watching, man. If you have any ideas or any other top 5s you want us to do, please leave them down below in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe to the podcast. You can catch it on any of your audio podcast platforms. Right. We live stream every Thursday for our normal Commanders content. So,
Royce and your boy from Kick Push, what's his face? Kick Push, coach, and away we go. Remember that song?
No.
Oh yeah,
crazy man.
Lupe
and Royce's beef. That was a pretty good one, man.
Yeah,
that stayed bar for the most part.
Yep. All right, fellas. Any parting shots before we get on out of here?
Did you watch the roast of Tom Brady?
Not yet. I've seen clips of it. I've seen clips of it. He's like, man, y'all had to spend $20 million in 6 months on investigation. I could have just told you I inflated the
Tony Hinchcliffe is the greatest, bro. He roaster. I knew it. That's the only reason I watched it. When they said Tony Hinchcliffe was going to be on there, I'm going to watch it, man.
Did Gronk do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gronk was funny. Most of it was either joking on him or Brady. Brady and him caught the most jokes.
All right, we'll have to table that one for maybe.
I heard Nikki Glazer put on a clinic.
Nikki Glazer probably had it was between her and Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm gonna go with Tony. Tony's was the hardest, but Nikki crushed it, man. Nikki set the tone. She raised the bar. She crushed it, man.
Nice.
But those two did it, man. Those two killed, man. Man, the one joke he did say, I'll give you, man. He said he said something about Tony. He said all of what's his face? Goddamn Kevin Hart said Hart's ancestors were so short and black that they didn't pick cotton. They deadlifted
it. People be catching strays at other people's roasts, man.
Man,
That's the best part of roasts.
He hit Kim Kardashian so low, dog. It was like fucked up.
Robert Kraft hit Jimmy G Jimmy G caught a stray.
Oh man,
he said, "Yeah, good thing now you can go be a part of the Raiders, but at least they got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo already for you."
Right. What's the white dude that always does a roast? Jeff Ross. He said something about Robert Kraft getting his massage parlor shit. Man, he said something. And Brady just like, hey, don't stop that shit right now. Some shit like you can hear it in his mic say, hey, don't do that shit. You can tell it.
He was
pretty fucked up. Dang, man, but Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this with everyone. Give us your comment. Tell us who had the best list, who had the worst list. Give us some feedback. You guys know where to find us. All right, we out of here. Peace.
Crisscross on ABC.
Boo. BBD. Bell.
Jump was a diss song.
East Coast family. All right, we out.